This is UAP. This is the geographic location of a gray alien headquarters base in 1973. This is based on Pat Price's remote viewing, some data recently published that was presented to Hal Puthoff. All right, now we're going to switch over to Google Maps. This is the information from Pat Price's presentation. This is the NHI location. This is a drawn back view. You got Spain here, Switzerland, France, Croatia, Italy, Gibraltar, Tunisia. All right, just to orient you, I think everybody's familiar here. This is right on the border of Spain and France. And let's see if we can zoom in. We'll zoom out a bit here. There's your location there. This is supposed to be the NHI. At least in this case, I believe they're talking about grays. This is their headquarters. And let's see if we can zoom in. There it is. Now, there is Andorra. I actually knew someone that lived in Andorra. It's a country that's right on the border. It's very weird. And a lot of crypto traders live there and other people. So that's kind of strange that that's right there. This is the NHI location right on the border here. And let's see if we can just move closer. And again, there's Andorra again. And let's see if we can move in a little closer. You can see there is not much around here. This is the closest town, Angeles-Godolsk. That's in France. And there's parks here. Park. Nothing over here. So let's zoom in a little farther. Again, park. Interesting. Park. And so we got that. And let's see. It's in a park. Okay, Parque Nacional de Orce Monte Perdido. Interesting. You know, there's a lot of state park abductions in the United States, and it's a whole thing. I talked to a guy who was shooting a documentary film, and he said the United States parks were set up as Bigfoot sanctuaries. True? Don't know. But that's why they're located where they're located, because that's where Bigfoots are. Teddy Roosevelt made the first one, and Teddy Roosevelt, in his diary, said he saw a Bigfoot. Off the track here. Here is the location again. It looks like this is the nearest town. Or maybe, no, that's it. And we got, I'm not sure what that is. Anyway, we got parks all around here. And this is a very rugged, mountainous area. Mount Perdido. Now, I've used the facilities in Google to measure this as best I can. And this is pretty much the location of Pat Price's identification of the Gray headquarters, at least in 1974. And this is pretty close. Let's see if we can zoom in here, if there's anything there. And again, there we go. Not a lot there. That particular location, these are interesting. But, you know, they've said in Area 51 there are holograms projected, and also doorways or disguised. It's said that there is a ramp that comes out of this location for landing and takeoffs and everything. Anyway, this is it. That is the location. And that's flying in. And we'll back out a little bit. You can see this is a really desolate side of a mountain here, and good place to be if you don't want anybody to find you. Looks like that whole wall sheared off. Anyway, this is supposed to be the location, as best as I can approximate it, of this alien base. Again, on the border of, in the midst of a rough mountainside, in the midst of a lot of national parks, on the border of Spain and France, near Andorra, which is a weird little principality. Okay, just thought I would interject this into the meeting, into the presentation here. Interesting. You can do this yourself on the rest of the locations. I may be a little off on this. I'm not the best map maker, but this is very close. This is another view of this, kind of a horizontal view. And again, we're on the border of France and Spain. And this is supposedly, and that's a fortress-like location. There is our base, supposedly right there. And let's move in on this. And as you can see, this is some rugged terrain. And in the rugged terrain, this is a rugged spot in the terrain. And we got like a plateau here. And this is pretty much the peak of the mountain range here. And that's it. That is your location from a different perspective. Interesting. Pull back a little bit here. You can see there's some cities and towns way off there. Nothing in the immediate area. State parks. And let's just zoom in on this. And again, I believe I got this right. Anyway, that's where it is. And let's see if that's approximate. Okay, you know, as best as you can do with the Google here. But, if you look at that, you can imagine there's a lot of room there to put an entrance. So, it looks kind of sus. Anyway, there you go. We'll just pull back and you can get a better idea of the location here, where this is, supposedly where it is. And there you go. Good spot for a base, if you ask me.